It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Mark Peterson, Milton Glueck, Dr. Calvin Finch. Yeah, we can talk about Calvin. He can't hear us. He hasn't plugged in yet. So if there's anything you want to say about Calvin?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
I'm just got the bandana on my forehead.
You had the chance, but okay. All right, it's a beautiful day here at Milberger's. The breeze comes and goes, and there's lots of folks out here. We are facing a beautiful zinnia display in front of us, aren't we?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, now I work with him. He's all plugged in.
Yep.
What do you got?
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm still not hearing him. All right. Yeah, he's not talking into the mic. That's maybe the problem.
Wait.
Okay.
No.
What?
Oh,
there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Can you hear Mark?
Not very well.
Well, I don't. Well,
I see.
I got it all the way up. I can't go up
Kind
any
of
further. Okay. I'm not sure what the
background noise.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do because.
Can we turn it down a bit?
Oh, sure. How's that? Better?
Better.
Okay.
There we go.
Welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. Hey, we want you to, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you go to milbergernursery.com, you will learn that it's also a, what's it called? It's a tax-free weekend. But
with emphasis on water conservation products.
So today, tomorrow, and Monday,
Yeah.
certain things are tax-free.
Just briefly, a hose is not tax-free.
Right.
But mulch is.
Okay.
And,
What about if I buy some zinnias?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So the details are at milbergernursery.com. Let's see. I'm trying to find them real quick.
Well, they're in there also. They're in Express News. There's a big...
that big ad.
Lots
Big
of
ad.
information.
Oh, look, it's right here. I have the newspaper this morning.
There you go. Memorial Day, remember and honor. Sales tax-free weekend through Monday.
Trace was going to look about a sucker hose. He was going to investigate.
Oh, okay.
That.
Well, now it says on the site, Trace, come up. Trace, please come to the porch. Trace, please come to the porch and get some clarity on this. I do know what it says in the thing, but okay. So 210-308-8867, or hop in that car and come on over to Milberger's this Memorial Day weekend, and you won't regret it. We're having a nice time out here on the porch, and we welcome you to come on out, too. Lots of things on sale. Your pentas are on sale. Yeah, your pentas are on sale. Let's see. Vinca. Oh, I'm trying to... Oh, well... I'll wait. I'll ask my question off the air.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. Hybrid roses.
Hybrid roses, yes.
I briefly ran through the area, and it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very aromatic. So a lot of these hybrid teas.
Well, some are.
A lot of. Yeah, I qualified myself. You did the some, and I did a lot of.
Of course, I'm partial towards the tough modern roses and the old-fashioned roses.
Yeah.
And which we got marketed.
Yeah, I looked at it last week, and there was a couple there that we like. Carefree Broody.
Yeah. Martha Gonzalez.
And then Martha Gonzalez. There was about 10 or 12 of them last week.
I guess they're not on sale, though, huh, Mark?
Only the hybrids, but we got Trace for.
Lady Banks is there too. A few of the Lady Banks roses. So lots of choices on roses. But Mark's right. If you're looking for some with fragrance, those the hybrids are where you're going to find them. And then the variation in color, for sure too. There's a lot of choices on color.
Yeah. So there's Trace. Maybe he'll wander over here. All right, 210-308-8867, but go to millburgernursery.com. The website has all the sale items on it. That's the easiest way. It's millburgernursery.com. And pomegranates are 25% off. You want to talk? We don't talk much about them.
Pomegranates?
Do we?
Yeah, we do when they are really in flower.
Okay.
Which is
early.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I was going to say a little earlier, but no, Calvin is correct. Right now.
There you are. That's one of the characteristics they have is that they start blooming in April.
Yes.
And they bloom all the way through May and into June. There's a lot of neighborhoods that have been there. They've been there for years, I guess, and they don't eat them in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah, and they're about 15 feet tall, so they're really a kind of a dominating plant. But those orange flowers are unbelievable.
Yeah. And do you get fruit on yours?
Not on those that are showy in the landscape.
Yeah.
I've got a few that I planted for the fruit, but I occasionally get one or two fruit. It's Mark and I have talked about the fruit, and this I think this is not the ideal climate for pomegranate fruit, but some gardeners, if you found the varieties, there's so many varieties that if you found the varieties that are really productive, certainly let us know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like a lot of things for different parts of the country, it's our humid, hot nights that really
they do them in, or they
do 'em
like?
in. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Do 'em in.
But I understood are they drought tolerant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I. So and they're pretty.
Some of the best ones or most prolific.
Oh, guess what?
Are from Central Asia and California.
Okay.
So think about that.
Yeah.
They're very drought tolerant.
They're managed a little different than a lot of the shrubs we're used to. They, when you're pruning them, what you generally do is you take like 1/3 of the stems from the base, the old stems out, and you to remove those so that you always got kind of a new stem production place, and that seems to be the most effective way to manage them.
Now I do that and then take a little bit off the top.
Take some off the top, and that works.
Yeah, but in combination, what you had described, we do it a little bit like figs, where we take about a third of the tallest growing fig stems and cut them right down the ground.
Are figs on sale too?
Oh, that's a good question.
And
we had them in the past.
Yes, the figs are on sale.
And the thing about figs is there you definitely can get some good production here in San Antonio.
Yes.
Let's see.
They're
Go right to the fig
I was
section.
going to say they're one of the top fruit trees. I like citrus, figs, and pears.
You don't have to spray them.
Yeah, they're pretty tough. We had one that came up between a between a home and an asphalt driveway, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was 7 feet tall, bushy. It was pretty tough. We tried to cut it down. It just laughed. You could hear it as we cut it down. It went, "I'll be back."
Now they'll survive.
They do that
without much attention. But if you really want maximum production, they do need some water.
What's wrong?
In the old days, we used to talk about, in the production area, Mark.
Can you hear okay?
They used to plant them with like 2 feet of mulch.
Okay.
And now I don't know that anybody does that anymore.
I used to tell people this is the one plant. Don't worry about the depth of the mulch. Most people over mulch trees and plants. Rule of thumb: don't go over 1.5 inches on the mulch. But for figs, it didn't really matter. But now we're kind of going, maybe the 6 inches was a little too much.
Okay. But yeah, figs are easy. And then our figs, you have figs at your house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting figs yet?
No.
When do you normally get figs?
Midsummer.
See, if you're not getting...
August, maybe?
Oh, really?
No,
No,
you get,
earlier?
it depends on the variety you have, but if the weather cooperates, you get that first crop of the, if it's the variety that I have, you get a first crop early, and then you get you get a fall crop, kind of a long crop too. But it depends on the variety, I think.
Okay. Yeah, we have...
You can kind of see if any of
what
the...
is that? Is that a seagull?
See if any of the listeners...
No,
No,
it's
egret.
egret.
Oh, it's an egret? Egrets?
Is it
I had a few. Okay. All right, Trace, we need...
the Louisiana
Yes.
egret? Okay.
Yes, sir. How are you? Did you have a question?
I do.
Can you ask it on the air?
I can.
Okay, I'm gonna. You take that mic. I'm gonna give Trace this. Here you go, Trace.
What do you have there? It looks like a leaf of some type.
This is a leaf.
Talk in the mic so we can read.
Oh, a leaf for a tree, a desert willow. And it's got some kind of a mold on the long leaves. But,
Are they spotted?
well, yeah, as a matter of fact.
No. Okay. So.
And I took a picture of the tree. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah. We are in the extreme eastern part of the range, and this happens a lot more with a cross catalpa, cross between a catalpa and a desert willow. But this frequently happens. Surprise! I'm very surprised. How do you water them? Is there an irrigation system nearby?
Just lawn.
Okay.
In the middle of my lawn, it's been fine for 8 years.
Well, sometimes what this is a leaf fungus, and it's most prominent in periods of heavy rainfall, which is why I'm surprised. And then that's why I asked what kind of irrigation system you have. Does it spray up in the air and things like that?
Now, for spraying...
For the turf.
For the up in the air to try to get the fungus.
Yeah.
I went and bought a big backpack.
Yeah.
And it shot it 30 feet in the air.
Okay.
And it seemed like it helped some.
Okay. Yeah, it probably did.
But
it's not anything to worry about.
my wife would.
So the point of it is, it's weather conditions or it's maybe man-made. So try not to get the irrigation up into the canopy. It doesn't like it. No, these are native to El Paso.
Oh.
There you go. So it kind of
irrigation.
explains. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like you see this leaf spot, this fungal leaf spot.
Right.
Lots of times where it's heavy rain, which is why it's unusual. That's why I'm surprised that I see it, or that's affecting your tree. The only thing I can think of is that when you're watering your lawn, maybe it's spraying up into the canopy.
When did the symptoms start showing?
No, it's a little screw-in sprinklers like that. It doesn't they go out, not up.
Oh, okay. So that's more like a
Lawn watering.
a rotor sprayer.
Yep.
When did the symptoms start showing?
Last time I was here, it was just like that, and a little lady went, "Oh, it's with," and she gave me a bottle.
I mean, was it weeks ago or
some kind of something that I don't have the bottle anymore. Or
do you see any new growth coming that's not infected?
Yeah,
I was pursuing the same thing. I think Trace is the thing. The last few weeks has been the humidity has been so high, and even though we haven't gotten any rain, if in combination with that sprinkling system, how often do you sprinkle your lawn?
I'm gonna.
He's not
homestead.
He's not going to give us. He's not going to give us straight in.
He gets 10 minutes every week.
Just once a week.
Just once a week, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think.
No. You're underwatering for the lawn. So
Yeah, that's the lawn.
I think Calvin's on the right track there. It's the humidity, and again, like I said, its native range is Big Bend, El Paso. You know, the type where the nights are cooler and less humid.
Okay.
And it's like Mark said, though, it's not going to be a long-term problem.
No, it should do well in this weather, and I would
expect those leaves to fall off.
Yes,
and new ones come on.
Yes, absolutely. Hence my brevity when I said I wouldn't worry about it. So that's the reason why.
Because you came up here and asked your question on the air, I've got 2 tickets for you for next Saturday, a Festival of Flowers. Have you been there before?
No.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Where is
It's over at the Alzafar.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, and you get to parking is free, and now you have 2 tickets. So we will see you there. We'll be there.
You're nice. You are nice guys.
Oh, shucks.
He doesn't know y'all very well.
That's going to go to our head.
All right. I think we may have another question from the crowd here.
Another one.
Do you have a question? Will you come on the air with us? All right, Trace. We'll switch again. Here we go. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Well, it's Parker's mom. Parker's resting over there. He's resting over there. So I have a few things. First of all, for Calvin, last time I was here, I told you that my milkweed was growing from the class. So today I took a picture of it, and it's the green milkweed, and so it's about 4 inches tall.
Cool. Yes.
So do I just continue to leave it in this pot?
I would for a while, at least for this season.
Okay.
And then I would protect it over the winter and then transplant it next spring.
Okay. Cool.
Then it should make it.
All right. And the other one that I got that was just the seed.
The classic look, and a lot of our participants are seeing that. Did you send me a picture of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
So somebody else.
But the antelope horn milkweed didn't come up at all.
That's right.
All right. So one of my questions is Gabera daisy, lime green. Lime green. What do I need to do to make it the darker green? What's it missing?
What plant is it?
A Gabera daisy.
Gerbera. We put the accent on
So the greens are vein, the surrounding tissue is pale. It's nutrient, so most likely iron or nitrogen or a combination of the two.
Okay, because I have several, and this is the only one that is doing that.
Is there any white film on the leaf, like
no.
through flower? Okay.
What about is a drain well?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
Yeah, that can be another reason why the nutrients are not getting distributed.
Okay.
And mine was powdery mildew, so if you did see flower look, they are notorious for powdery mildew, and it can make the leaves look like that too.
Okay. I'll check that, but I'll check the drainage and see if I see any mildew on it. Yeah. I was the one that had the powdery mildew on the Mexican petunias, and I sprayed a spray on it, and it's helped it. So I have another question.
I got one more thing. Try not to water the leaves. Try to water underneath.
Yeah. Okay. And we've got a beautiful fig tree. It's a brown turkey fig. And this is one of the figs off of it. But there's always little black bugs coming in and out of it, and I think it makes the fruit bitter. What might that be, and how do you get rid of them?
Mascarne. Do you want to answer that?
I'm still looking at it. So
okay.
Go ahead if you got an answer.
There's closed ends and open ends on figs, and sometimes they.
Well, that should be a closed end, though.
Yeah, it looks like closed in. So they may have gotten in before it was all closed, or I'm doing it. Think of a mulberry that's inverted all the way around. You know, like a mulberry out there. That's what a fig is.
How would a
So there's
the little black bugs. Is there any way to get rid of them now that they're ripening?
Are they there now?
Yes, they're on the figs now. I picked this one yesterday.
What is the organic insecticide?
Pyrethrin is what you're looking for.
Okay, pyrethrin.
Yeah, well, that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
I don't know if it can. The pyrethrin will be able.
Because it's
take
one
care of
thing
it.
to just brush them off, but it's
Yeah.
it seems we had them last year, and it seems to make the fruit bitter. They're not a good old sweet fig.
Now, there's probably a question whether that's what's causing the fruit to be bitter.
Well,
But
so it almost looks stink buggish.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was going to say.
But they're tiny.
It's got to
Yeah,
be
this is a
it's got to
different
be eating like a stink bug.
Yeah.
So they stick their little proboscis. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
In.
so
like
if they
an
are
acid
stink,
to liquefy and then suck it back out again.
Ah.
That
The-
would definitely
the-
make it bitter.
One bug that is notorious for making fruit bitter is the stink bug.
and then
Whether it be peaches, plums, figs, pecans. I mean, it's always that one.
So I'm
and
guessing
they
it's-
also won't be. They like Mark said, they will not be affected by the fruit. I mean, they're tough.
Yeah.
So if you got a, how big's your tree? Huge.
Yeah, it's about 12 feet.
Okay. You know what would you spray? I think I might try once. If the stink bugs are bad, I might try malathion once.
That would be my spray too.
And then read the label and follow those. It'll, I don't know. I can't remember if it's 48 hours. You wait until after you spray it.
It'll have
And
a
then
heart-
just wash them really good.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
that-
48 hours, leave them on the tree, and
Well,
then
but check the label.
okay, yeah.
it's going to have different lengths of time for different fruit.
Yeah.
It's an effective insecticide, but
But
Yeah.
right now is too late, almost.
Okay.
If you're thinking, and well, they got a little bruising down there, I can see, but usually it's much later.
Okay.
Much earlier. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Much earlier.
Hey, we need to take a quick break.
I
Don't
would
go
try
anywhere.
it, though.
210-308-8867. More of Millburgers Gardening South Texas coming up live from Millburgers at 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas. Got a question from the crowd, and that's good because when she asks her question on the air, she's going to win a pair of tickets to the 25th annual festival or 25th anniversary Festival of Flowers, Saturday, May 31st from 9
make
to
sure
5.
she's got something for me to eat before she.
Yeah, you got to give Calvin food. Oh, man. But yeah, this is the premier gardening event of the year at the Alzafar. People just wait for it. They just want to know the date. If they haven't been yet, because we had some people who have not been, but they were really excited about it because they've heard rumors about how great it is. Lots of exhibitors, and it's gardening exhibitors, so you won't see much for homes and stuff, but you will see lots for gardening.
Don't go there if you're going to see windows
or pools or something, or whirlpool baths. But if you want to see gardening and volunteer organizations for gardening, the Festival of Flowers is a place to go. If you want to see terrific seminars that start in the morning and then that go on, and the Organic Roundtable, there's the Kids Garden Zone, and much, much more. There's the Plant Exchange. Yep. Go to festivaloflowerssanantonio.com to learn more. It's at the San Antonio Shrine Auditorium, which is on 1604, 901 North Loop 1604 between Stone Oak and Blanco. And, parking is free. Tickets are $10, and kids under 10 are free. And if you come ask a question on the air, I'll give you a pair of tickets. We'll tell you more about it in just a moment. But while they last, by the way. Yes, sir, did you have something you wanted to add real quick before we go to her question?
She's waiting patiently.
Yeah, I know. She sure is. Okay, what's going on? Yes, ma'am. You're on the air.
I have a niece that has a peach tree that has not
Calvin knows
bloomed
peach trees.
whatsoever. Not one peach. The leaves are turning brown in the spring, and they tend to drop.
What
the top?
You know what kind of variety it is?
It is an autumn brown. I don't know exactly the peach tree
Uh-huh.
it is.
I don't recognize that, but it'd be an autumn. It'd be course, late in the season.
Yes.
This has been very tough on fruit trees, peaches especially, and so we haven't. You didn't get any blooms this spring?
No, not whatsoever. It hasn't been blooming since she planted it, and it's just the leaves tend to fall off and they sprout again, but they never bloom. A peach hasn't come out. What would be the best thing?
I'm worried about the leaves turning brown.
And then they curl like a caterpillar.
Yeah.
They
Well,
just
they get
fall off.
and it's the fungus. How old is it? Do you remember?
No, she's asking how old.
We're discussing the age
Yes.
of the tree.
It's been probably 3 years.
So it was like a
hasn't-
little 5-gallon. It was like this.
It was a
like
5-gallon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I don't recognize that as a recommended variety.
Okay.
So
Where,
take it. Kind of look
she's
at
trying-
the list of diseases that peach trees are.
Tend to have.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering whereabouts is this?
It's in San Antonio.
In San Antonio.
It's on property that
On the east,
Is it
west,
is it in
southeast.
full sun?
southeast.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Yes.
Is it in full sun?
Yes, full sun. It's out in a front garden.
Yeah, it was southwest. It has a little caliche, or depends on what part of southwest.
Yeah. But it hasn't really done anything in the
No.
3 years history.
Not one.
Yeah.
Did they prune it at all?
Yes.
In autumn blush or something.
The other thing is, it's not in a raised bed or anything.
No, sir.
It's right into the ground.
It's right in the ground. Yes.
How did they water it? How do
Yes.
they water it?
Yes.
How though?
Every 3 days.
By hand or
By hand or sprinkler.
or sprinkler?
Yes.
I would. The first thing I would look at is to make sure that water is getting to that root ball.
Okay.
Because it's got a lot of pressures on it right now. The drought, the heat. I don't think it's a recommended variety, so it could be our special conditions here. The heat and cold and the hot nights are not contributing to it being healthy. So they may look at it in those terms. But the first thing, look to make sure water's getting down there,
Yes, sir.
and then they may want to consider looking to get one of the recommended varieties, like Florida King or.
June Gold was before Florida King. There was June Gold.
June Gold, and then the one a little later, one higher quality.
La Feliciana.
That's it.
Okay.
Good work, Mark.
I'm starting to read your mind, so it's scary.
So that's what they need to. We really that'd be a lot of things to look for. Look for make sure that the water is getting into the root ball, and it's not soggy, and then consider looking at another selection. Where did they? You don't know where they got the fruit tree.
It was a gift for her. I don't know where she'd gotten it.
So on the southwest part of town, it depends on how far southwest you go. You're going to get clay and then some caliche underneath. So always a little tough. What Calvin's talking about is maybe that water's not getting into the ball or getting down or getting everything.
Our recommendation is, in addition to the recommended varieties, Mark mentioned the raised bed and then drip irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, I would do it by hand or bucket or drip.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet.
I appreciate it.
And because you asked your question on the air, We'll see you next week at
Thank
Festival of
you.
Flowers.
Thank you very
You
much.
bet.
Have a good day.
And if you see us, give us a report.
Yeah, give us. Oh, thank you. Good idea.
Definitely.
Thanks
I
for
sure
the
will.
patience.
Thank you.
Do
Bye-bye.
you want to come on the air with us?
Yeah, get him.
Thank you. You've been so
Don't
patient.
make
What's
him
going
wait.
on? You're on the
Here's
air.
our pepper boy.
Oh, that's right. How are you?
Doing quite well. Actually, I got some Scotch bonnets and Carolina Reapers going this year.
Eek.
Eek is right. I think that's pepper. I think Carolina Reaper is actually pepper number 3 now. It used to be pepper number 2.
No, in terms of heat?
In terms of heat.
This is a lovely, lovely segue. Calvin had written in Things to Do this week to talk about peppers, and we have some pepper transplants. But I went to the seed wall that we have, the seed racks, and I counted like 15 or 16 different seeds, including some of the ghosts and Reaper.
Carolina Reaper, yes.
So it is time to be planting peppers. So lovely segue, sir.
Yes.
That's great. Thanks for coming on. I planned this all out.
I was wondering, man. You really.
Well, I do actually have a couple questions because I actually just set up a new raised bed, about a 2x5 oval-shaped bed. I'm already planning on planting some squash in there. My question is, if I'm doing, or actually zucchini specifically, basically how many can I fit on there realistically without it being affected by each other, just for spacing?
What's the dimensions again? And
2x5 oval, 2x5 by 1. I know, right?
Yeah,
What?
2 or 3?
They're not. I don't imagine them as they don't strike me as being competitive to each other.
Right.
But they physically are kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Mark's right. Two or three. Two or three will fill it up.
Okay.
Well, that's why I asked oval. That's actually kind of cool. I'm glad you're doing it like that. Oval. I probably would do 2 where the loci is on the oval.
Like on the outer edge. And...
Well, right. Middle.
Oh, like towards the front or towards me, and then one towards the back.
Yeah, going back into 10th grade geometry.
That was my first question. I do have a second question, slightly unrelated. I'm about to harvest a bunch of red-skinned potatoes from another bed, 3x8. I'm kind of at a loss as to finding sweet potatoes I can plant before it's too late in the summer, it gets too hot. But the problem is, finding them is a little bit of a pain right now, so I'm trying to pick some brains about where to find some good ones, at least, especially out here in the Texas heat.
Well, I would just the Texas heat is usually not an issue with them, but you know where you can quite often find the desirable sweet potatoes. The H-E-B.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they'll quite often they'll sprout. You might.
Oh, you're
find,
talking about getting from the produce section.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was under the impression that sometimes it's not a good idea, at least with potatoes. But you're saying with the sweet potatoes from H-E-B, that's okay?
Oh, yeah. I don't... in fact, one of the issues with if you get the sweet potatoes, well, I get a bag of sweet potatoes, and then if you don't use them up pretty quick, you get them all sprouting.
Yeah.
See, and heat is not an issue. Heat is desirable.
So for the sweet potatoes, this is perfect.
I'm loving the concept. You're going to harvest all the red potatoes, and then prepare the bed, and then go for sweet potatoes.
And I've already got a bunch of extra compost ready for the bed, so I'm just going to refill it, refertilize.
I'm kind of liking this idea, this concept.
You actually could, if you just had one spare sweet potato, and let those sprouts come up, you could
and just
fill that whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Could feel it. I was just trying to think of, where you might find some real more exotic at one of the sprouts or one of those or a farm to market store or someplace.
Okay.
Where a farmer has brought it in, maybe from a different part of Texas or someplace, or just they've had good luck.
And so, what do you once he buys it? What do you do? You wait for it to kind of sprout, and then you cut, like y'all have talked about before.
You just cut them or pick them on.
So no worry about watering or anything like that. They'll sprout on their own, or you think water would be a good idea, or at least putting it in a jar.
They'll sprout on their own, but you want to speed it up a little bit. but don't make it too soggy.
Right.
I was trying to think, what is the fastest way to get them?
I don't know.
I'm always trying to slow them down.
Particularly with the ornamental ones. I don't know how many eyes. I'm thinking 2.
Well, you don't need eyes.
No, you don't need eyes.
You
on that.
just
Because they're more like a vine at that point instead of like a tuber type deal, right?
they're sending all these little.
Well, I know we talk slips, just like we talk onions. So basically, on the sweet potato, we're
experiment a little bit
spit
with that,
slips.
and look at one of a couple of those stores that brag on the fact that they've got down home farm to market kind of thing, and you might find one of the more exotic sweet potato versions. But the ones at the HEB work very well.
And I like your use of the compost and mulch ready to go. They do like organic material.
And that's what I was trying to go with the potatoes as well, especially the Redskins. Those just compost heavy. You want to put it in a raised bed, and then for hilling, it would, instead of just soil, it was all leaves.
We've been talking about now it's time to harvest the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you have one more question, or? That's okay if you do.
No, I'm honestly. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, got my peppers, got my potatoes, got my tomatoes.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of the tomatoes, those rodeo tomatoes that you guys recommended back in February.
Yeah.
I just got my first batch of ripe ones.
We did too.
One of them, I weighed it because it was pretty big.
Yeah.
13.9 ounces.
Eek.
It was quite large.
Yeah, it is quite large.
And there's still plenty more on the way. But again, thanks for the recommendation for that, for those rodeo tomatoes, because they're doing quite well. And I'm already planning at this point, because they're determinate, at least from what I understand. Once I harvest those, I'm going to swap those out for indeterminate tomatoes for the summer.
Again, rule of thumb, general rule of thumb is July 4th. Is everything, clean up everything.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Very cool. And have you been to Festival of Flowers before?
I have not. I know, I should.
Okay, here's 2 tickets
Well,
for asking your question on the air. So, go, and we'll see you next Saturday. Yeah, come by and say hello to us. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. You'll probably, there's probably some pepper group that you can join. So
don't bother to bring any of those ghost peppers with you.
Oh,
but if you have some wonderful sweet potatoes.
Yeah, you gotta make it out of here before Trace finds that you're here.
No, I'm looking. I would be looking forward to some of those nice redskin potatoes.
I'll see if I can.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Talking about food up here, talking about peppers and stuff. So I will tell you, this Memorial Day weekend, if you're going to do some grilling on today, tomorrow, or Monday, you need to head over to Pruski's Market on Highway 87 in Atkins, Texas, because you will find the most delicious cuts of meat you have ever grilled. And if you're not a griller, that's okay. You'll find poultry, beef, you'll find sausage, you'll find rabbit, you'll find everything that you need. Boudin, get bacon. And besides all the great food and the award-winning sausage at Pruski's Market, you'll find outstanding service. Oh, excellent service where you can actually talk to somebody behind the butcher counter that can help you. You can get the pinwheels that are absolutely delicious. You can get all kinds of stuff. And head on over to Pruski's right now or call them ahead, and they'll put it aside for you. And then you just pick it up and you go. So if you're trying to get something for Memorial Day, you're going to have people over to celebrate the holiday, just give Pruski's a call, or anytime you need great food, go to Pruski's Market, pruskismeatmarket.com. That's pruskismeatmarket.com, and 10140 Highway 87. What are you doing?
I'm like a vulture. I'm trying to catch all the breezes.
Oh, I didn't quite understand. I thought you were doing a puppet show without puppets. All right, 210-308.
He looks like those.
Yeah.
What are those puppets in the youth show?
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, exactly. What was it? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. A marionette. Yep. All right, 210, but that's Pruski's Market, pruskismeatmarket.com. All right, 210-308-8867. We got a milkweed question on the line at 210-308-8867. It's Trip. What's going on, Trip? How can we help you?
No, I don't know if it's because of the heat and maybe I'm overwatering, but on the milkweeds, the leaves on the lower levels are turning yellow and starting to fall off.
How large is the container?
How big is the container?
Yeah, or is it in the garden or where?
No, they're in pots.
They're in what?
In pots.
Like
Okay, how big are the
about
pots?
Yeah, like maybe 5 gallons.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
And it's and they're well drained.
Yes.
Water runs right through them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what kind of milkweed it was?
Well, like 2 of them are native and the other ones are the tropicals.
Okay, but you don't remember which ones are they having trouble?
Well, all of them right now are got yellow leaves, like on the lower bottom.
But they're on the lower part of the plant.
Yeah. If
right, they're not like they're all going to seed, so there's seeds flying everywhere, and I'm.
Oh, there's actually pods and blooms on them?
Oh yes, I've got a whole bunch. I'm getting Ziploc bags and filling them up full of the seeds from the pods.
Yeah. Well, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if it's well drained, you're not. And how old are they? Are they 2 years or older?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you. We generally talk about them being very drought tolerant after they're 2 years, so they get that root developed. And you're talking about what kind of container did you say?
5.
Pretty healthy. So, yeah, I would be careful not to overwater. You shouldn't.
That's what I think I did because it was so hot, and then we got the rain.
But it is a little testy because if you don't water them when they're I'm thinking of our 4-inch containers, and you almost have to in this weather you have to water them every single day, but in that 5-gallon with more than a couple years old, they should have a good root system and they should be pretty tolerant of the.
I think maybe that's what I was doing because I was doing that with the coneflower, and now the coneflowers doesn't look too hot, so it might be overwatered also. It's just the heat, I came out and they were kind of droopy, and then I would water them. Then the next day I'd come home and I'd water them again so they wouldn't die.
Well, that's exciting though. You got both the tropical, you got seeds being produced by the tropical, and then and then there's a couple of natives. Are they both the same species?
Yes. One of them has, I think the tropicals got like the orange flowers, and then the red flowers are on the natives here. But the monarchs never showed up.
Huh. Well, I was just telling Milton that I've been talking about them. The monarchs never showing up, and then what do you think happened yesterday? The monarch showed up at my...
Yeah, well, I just had a tiger swallow. He just left.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they like the blooms too. Yeah, well, utilize your seeds. Collect your seeds like you're doing, and go ahead and plant them in a garden or in more containers. That's pretty exciting.
Should I do like that one guy and put them in the refrigerator for 30 days?
Of course, the tropical, you don't have to do that. But that's the best way to prepare the seed. Is you put it in soak it a little bit and then put it in for 30 days in the refrigerator.
Okay, so the one seed that I got from the class, the monarch class, it's got like 7 leaves on it, and it's about 3 inches tall so far.
Okay, and I was trying to think of, and that's got blooms on it too?
No, it's only 3 inches tall. That's from the class we had in March.
Yeah.
Monarch class, yeah. It's about 3 inches tall, and it has 7 leaves.
Are there sharp leaves or rounded leaves?
they're kind of sharp. They're pointed at the end.
Okay, could be butterfly weed, or it could be. It's probably not green. Green has got kind of it's got the rounded leaves.
Yeah, because I had the showies and they never came up. This one, they came up. So I'm trying to remember which one.
I would, yeah, but if it's my usual guess would be that it would be green. If it's the one, it's most likely the one that comes up. But if the leaves would be rounded rather than sharp, but it could be butterfly weed.
Mm-hmm. That might be it. That might be the one it is.
It looks a lot like tropical, and it's got a different color flower.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll back off on the watering and see what happens, and then what I might do is maybe I'll change the soil in the pot.
That are in the big containers that are doing so well. But the one in the little container, you can pot it up or put it in a garden or something. But yeah, preserve those that are doing so well and they actually are producing seed.
Okay. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's
good
about
work.
it. So.
All right, thanks, Trip.
I thought I'd let y'all know. Thanks, guys.
You bet, man.
Hi, Trip.
All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Got a couple minutes. I want to, before we start anything new, Calvin, you got anything coming up? I think the milkweed classes are over.
For the spring,
We
haven't scheduled any in the summer yet.
Mark, how about you? Sorry. Did you have something that you...
No.
Okay.
No, just saying I did a lovely video for Gardening Volunteers of South Texas, the Go Gardening video. I did it at Haven for Hope yesterday.
Cool.
And very nice. They have a very nice facilities and well done, well designed, and taken care of well.
Okay.
And so,
what's in it? Is it
so it's mostly pollinators.
Okay.
So they worked with the various nurseries around town that we're all familiar with. And selected, a lot of the plants were selected by Lee, our friend Lee Marlowe, and worked with, she's president of the Native Plant Society and works for Sarah. So it was really not on the first Friday of next month.
So, that'll be, June 1st is a Sunday, so, the Friday after June 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was a really fun one. I liked it. I got to use the microphone.
And why did they?
So the big microphone.
Oh, okay.
Back and forth.
Oh, very cool.
Learning how to, remembering how to go back and forth.
She's a wonderful interview, too.
And is there a reason they have the garden at Haven for Hope?
Well, it started out as a vegetable garden.
All right.
And then they had an invasive amount of net sedge.
No.
That was almost impossible to get rid of. And so they changed course.
Cool. All right. It'll be interesting to see. Drops not next Friday, but a week from Friday.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Hey, Trace, we got about a minute and a half before we got to go to news and come back, but I want you to tell people what's going on for the next 3 days.
It is a tax-free weekend on anything that is water conserving.
Okay.
So all the plants, all the grass, which we are running lean on.
Oh.
And water hoses would be a no. Chemicals would be a no. Fertilizers would be a no. But mulches would be a yes. Soaker hoses, yes. The slow drip things for your indoor pots would be a yes.
I'm glad you investigated that further. That was a question I had last
Yeah, Mark was trying to, but cool.
I'm sure there'll be some possible issues, but I think we've thought of them all.
Yeah, and
basically, if it conserves water, it's okay. If it's a water usage thing, like a watering can, that doesn't conserve water.
What about the bags of soil and compost?
Okay. And so besides normal prices and some great savings this weekend, on those items, you'll save on the tax too.
That's true.
Yes, that's a good deal. So check out millburgernursery.com for more details on that. millburgernursery.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break in just a second and get you caught up with the news and what's going on, and then we're going to be here at Millburgers.
I want to tease.
Oh, what's that?
There's a chemical back on the shelf that disappeared.
Uh-oh.
And most everybody listening to this is going to want some.
Ooh, I have a thought. I wonder if it is what I think it is, but I'll find out in a minute. Variants we're going to tell you in just about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So we've got more of Millburgers Gardening South Texas coming up live from Millburgers Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas, live from Millburgers Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Boulevardy Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch, Trace Hazlett of Millburgers right up out here on the porch. And he was teasing before we went to break, he's going to tell you about a chemical that people like that is now back on the market. You want to take it away, Trace?
So for years, this product was labeled as 7.
Mm-hmm.
And EPA made them take that out of the 7 product and went with bifenthrin. So what was 7 used for? Chewing insects.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good products, organic, non-organic, for sucking insects.
Oh.
Carbaryl was the only good one for chewing insects.
Name some chewing insects.
Grasshoppers.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Certain beetles.
Yeah, beetles was the one I would use it for.
Cabbage looper, tomato hornworm.
Okay.
Forest caterpillar, and fall cankerworm.
Okay.
The big nests you may see in pecan trees.
So this is kind of exciting news for gardeners out there?
It was, because it's been 2 years since I bought up everything I could possibly get my hands on, and then this materialized. So it's a wonderful product for chewing insects. It is no longer called 7.
Okay.
I don't remember what the brand is, but it is.
We can check.
It's called Carbaryl.
Okay.
Real big on the label.
So, okay. So just ask for that when you come in.
Yeah.
Very good. So I know it's, I guessed incorrectly. But
you did. And then Mark showed his age. He didn't know that it was even gone.
Yep.
I'm like, what? 7 was gone? And 7 is SEVI.
Well, and to brag on you too, Trace, this is the cool thing. So you trained your employees on it this morning. You talked about that. And, so, I mean, that's to brag on you guys a little bit. That's what you do. Make sure that when customers come in, they're going to get the right information, that you've got products that, as soon as you could get it in, imagine you got it in because you know people wanted it. So, yep. And were you here when the guy was talking about showing his plant to somebody? He said this lady came up and she said, "Oh, you got this," and stuff too. So he was real happy with the service he got, probably from I don't want to say who it was from. So, but yeah, from somebody here at Millburgers. So
chilling his plant.
What's that?
Chilling his plant.
Chilling his plant.
I thought that's what you said.
I did. Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, no, he was showing her.
Okay.
Showing her the plant, and she got excited, and they helped each other. And
I'm going deaf, sorry.
It's okay.
No, just remember, he's from New Orleans.
Yeah, I speak funny. All righty, 210-308-8867. What else is going on, Trace?
It's just amazing how many people are taking advantage of this tax-free weekend.
Yeah,
so,
I bet.
It's not everything, but it is a good 75% of the entire store.
Yeah, next Saturday my article is going to be on the hot weather blooming plants, Trace, which we have most of them here. We got what do we got? We got the Esperanza,
Lantana, Duranta, Firebush, Firecracker Fern, which is always underrated but wonderful.
That's one of Trace and I's favorites.
Pride of Barbados.
We got some babies of those.
Yeah. Theralis.
We got it.
Yeah. Theralis is a good one. That one's underrated, too.
And for a perennial, it's pretty darn tough because the one that we have planted up front, I've only seen it freeze down that one year.
Right. I think it freezes down less than the other partners that it has. Now, the firebush, we always talk about how wonderful it is for the hummingbirds in the fall. It's just starting.
First to go to sleep, last to wake up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The gardener, we've had gardeners contact us and say, "Why isn't my firebush?" Sometimes people sell it short, and then they plant something else there, and then the next thing they know that firebush is coming out of there about 6 inches a day, and when it finally starts, it really does grow fast.
Mine is
showing.
Yeah, no leaves and because we protected it during the winter.
Is that
and so the firebush is. I think that's maybe it's not firebush. I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of fire spike. But yeah, the firebush. You're right. Yeah, that's one of the last ones. That's the pretty one. So
it's got the red leaves and the foliage, and of course the tubular flowers, small flowers. There's several different selections.
We did get in some white mist flower. So everybody always talks about Greg's mist flower. So there is a white version. I got about 20, 25 of the whites.
You still have the red porterweed. Someone came and asked Calvin a question about it, and he was just giddy. Ooh, you're getting the red porterweed.
Yeah, they're worried.
Is there any purple left?
They're worried about it. Could it take full sun?
Okay, good.
Yeah, we recommend you plant it in full sun. Can tolerate it, and I've never seen it fade in full sun. Can take a little bit of shade, but that's not its its best situation for it. So if you can, plant it in full sun.
I followed Calvin's advice with a customer earlier. She had a butterfly garden, and about a third of it was in the shade. And she was asking what can she do to grow there. So my mind first goes to passion vine because it'll be fairly shade tolerant, and it's a nectar as well as a place to lay babies. And then she kept saying, well, isn't there anything else? Anything else? And so I went to Penta.
Oh, man. You did go full Calvin.
I did.
Yeah, the Pentas are a wonderful nectar source.
They're great. They are the toughest. You give them the right conditions, and they put up with a lot.
Well, and
ours are doing great.
It's not hard to find the right conditions. They're very tolerant of a couple or 2 or 3 hours of afternoon sun.
The only thing that we did wrong was I put them in a little bed that was lots of afternoon sun, and they didn't like it. So they were all scraggly and looking bad and crinkly and just And so I put them in a good spot, and I watered them in, and now they're blooming and growing. I like those Pentas.
Yeah, they react pretty quickly to change in conditions. It doesn't take many weeks, a couple of weeks, and it's clear whether you've picked the right place for them.
Yeah.
But my favorite color is that white. And then the second one is the bright red, and then there's about 3 or 4 different pinks.
And I followed your advice. I went white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red. So they're intermingled. You cannot go wrong. So way to go, Trace. 210-308-8867. Let's hear from you. Did you get any rain on, what was it? It was Thursday night, overnight, or Friday morning?
Yes.
3/10 of an inch.
3/10 of an inch? Wow. I think we got a 1/4 inch.
I was surprised at the diversity around. Some places had a lot, and some places not so much.
Okay.
It was noisy.
Boy, was it noisy. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. It sure was.
Thunder and lightning.
There was one
Yes. Scared you?
Yes. and then it kind of went away. They were more distant.
Oh, okay.
There was like one that sounded like right over.
It was next door.
Over my house.
Yeah. But it was wonderful to get it, except I slipped in the mud when I went outside. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I laughed.
I got to complain about something. I went down. You can look at my left knee. It hit the pavement.
Do we have to?
No, you don't have to. You just trust me. But yeah, that was nice. So if you got, we can talk about the diversity. If you got some rain, give us a rain report at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
And then be reminded, I don't like to be negative about this, but be reminded that 0.3 of an inch, if you got growing things in containers, that's not much of water added to containers. And I saw in my situation, by the evening when the sun came out and the wind blowing, a lot of the plants, and if you got a lot of foliage, there's like zinnias and things, a lot of the plants already had been dried out and ready for new rain the next day.
Our zucchini toppled over. It's in a container, and so the wind pushed it over, so it didn't get any rain. So, because the foliage keeps the water from getting down to the roots and stuff.
Tomatoes, when you got real luxurious tomatoes or a lot of foliage, they block most of that water from getting into the container. So that's one of the plants to be especially watching out for. Make sure you get it some additional water for it. Plus, they use a lot of water. Tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially in containers, 5 gallons or 15 gallon size containers is not a luxurious situation for a tomato.
Those little toms, boy, they can suck up water.
I had one.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was tasty.
Was it?
No. I have Sweet 100s coming online.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, there's a hummingbird. What is he at?
He's at that cuffia.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mark, we interrupted you. He's happy.
No, he's nice.
Look how happy he is.
He's nice,
So you were saying? Sorry, I interrupted you.
I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's distracting when they're that cute little guys over there in those bright red blooms.
Yeah, so we know hummingbirds like that one, the
for
cuffia.
sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you were talking about the tom. How did it taste?
Oh, yes. But it was okay. I'm in anticipation of my Sweet 100s.
Did you make like a sandwich out of it and put it on something?
No, I just popped it in my mouth. About the size of a marble.
Yeah, if that. It's about the round as a dime, and then but yeah, they're kind of cute. And we took some out. Now they've ripened in the windowsill. So.
Well, we need also to report. I mentioned the fact that the seeds, what was it? Is it HMS?
BHN
968. Yeah, mine have finally got to be about a foot tall.
Oh, good.
So I'm ready to put them in the permanent containers or in the garden.
So my long-term question: are you going to grow that out and collect seeds so that we can send it to a growing operation?
I guess I'll have to do that. I was just
one for us, one for you, kind of thing.
But I was going to see if the Westies will eat them, and then you could follow.
They're not
around.
into tomatoes. They're kind of a chicken and beef dogs.
Oh, okay.
Although,
but you've got to bring us some seeds anyway.
Yeah,
just for us.
I only had one of the.
Greg was so nice.
One of the peppers.
Greg needs to give us a report. Oh, only one of the Rio Grande Gold?
Only one of the Rio Grande Gold is prospered, but 7 of the tomatoes are doing fine.
And you said yours were doing well, Trace?
Yeah,
that's a
sad story.
Oh, what happened? Do you want to talk about it or no? Okay. Did you do the Rio Grande Gold?
No, I did not. I gave you the extra.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I couldn't get anything.
Even though I love a pepper, my wife Does not.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Rio Grande Gold is so mild. Just a little cheese whiz whoosh, in there, and you're happy as can
Pretty
be.
plant, too.
And it's a beautiful plant, and it's tough.
So when you're using a whole pot for a pepper,
Okay.
no, she wouldn't let me do it.
Did you do any Rio Grande Gold? You said, yeah. You said your
I got
peppers
one
are
that
not. You got
came
one.
out,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll plant it. No.
It's Greg, right,
Container.
from North Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read North Texas is getting lots of rain. Ugh, Greg, what you doing? Send some of that rain down here, just a little bit. Even Amarillo is getting above average
Everybody's getting rain except San Antonio.
rain. Yeah, what's up with that? That was an article in the Express News, I think, that I saw.
Well, we've
what's
gone-
wrong with San Antonio?
The Edwards Aquifer Authority has gone into stage 4 or 5.
It's
Five.
Stage 5.
It's
That's
never been done.
now, and SAWS will be faced with. They've been able to, because of all the alternative sources and conservation adjustments that they've had, but we're going to be in a situation where we may not have any reserves.
Pluck the salamanders, take them to the San Antonio Zoo, and let's use what we got to use.
Okay. All right, 210-308-8867.
I'm not going to go there, but
Salamanders, you can call Trace here at the nursery to complain about this if you like. But all right,
yes, we've been able. SAWS has been able to be in stage 3, remain in stage 3, while the EA is declared stage 4 and 5 now. What that means is SAWS has a cut back by 44%. And you have to make it up somehow, and we've had these alternative resources. But who knows?
Come on, rain.
I noticed the rain fell mainly on the Guadalupe watershed, so that's
is
nice.
that good?
Yeah, that goes in the canyon line.
Oh, good. Oh, that is good. Yeah. All righty. So we need rain reports. James, you're always good for a rain report. So you call us at 210-308-8867. And, Mark, you want to talk about what you saw, and then I'll give specifics about the weather? No?
Well, I just
You said
I was
increasing-
watching the map the other night,
Mm-hmm.
or last night actually, and I was surprised by the diversity of rainfall totals.
No. About what's going to happen this week.
What, this week?
It's going to rain this week.
It's going to rain. Oh, this.
Yeah, you
this
said there were
coming
increasing
week.
chances.
All right. So
I can give you
what-
specifics if you like.
Okay, well, just correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So there was supposed to be a moderate amount possibility on Sunday, Monday morning, and then each day of the week we had growing percentages. So probably by Wednesday or Thursday we should have a greater percentage, probably about 40 to 50%.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So I'll read it to you. Tomorrow night, decreasing clouds, no chance. Sunday night, so Millburgers will be closed. This is after they close, Trace. Because I see them. Yeah, I know. Partly cloudy, 20% chance of thunderstorms. Memorial Day, 30% chance. Memorial Day night, 40% chance. Tuesday, 30% chance in the day, and then the nighttime, 50% chance. And then Wednesday, 40 and 50% chance of rain. So that's good, yeah. That'll be nice to get that rain. We need it. But yeah, so that's at weather.gov if you want to see that. Just,
Normally we receive 4.4 inches, historical average. Right now we're at 0.9. So, yes, we need some.
Yep. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. The number to call to be a part of the show. We want to hear from you. We want those rain reports and stuff. So let's take a quick break. While we do, give us a call and tell us what's going on in your gardening world. Back in a moment with more Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. A reminder, next Saturday you'll be listening to us on the show, and we'll be broadcasting Millburgers Gardening South Texas live from the 25th anniversary of Festival of Flowers, the premier gardening event in San Antonio.
So it's confirmed.
What's that? Yep.
It's
We're okay. Now I'll call you if something changes, but right now we're going to do it. Saturday, May 31st, 9 to 5. We'll be there during our normal time. I forgot to mention last time that the first 1,000 folks in the door will get a free plant from Saws. And how many can they choose from?
4.
4. All righty. There's also the plant exchange, and all the rules are at festivaloflowerssanantonio.com. Very, very popular. They're going to have the indoor gardening mall with all the different vendors that are going to be garden oriented, including lots of folks that are part of like nonprofits and gardening clubs and things like that, so you can talk to them as well. There's going to be the seminars that take place. David will be speaking first, and there's the organic roundtable. So that's always popular. So popular. This is a great event, and we've brought it up a number of times that you're going to see people that you see once a year there, and it's always kind of fun. Your favorite gardeners will be there, and that's when you'll see them and give them a big hug, kind of like NIOSA. So, it's a lot of fun. You can go to festivaloflowerssanantonio.com. Tickets are $10 for adults. Kids under 10 are free, and the parking is absolutely free at the Al-Zafar the whole day. So go to Festival of Flowers San Antonio for more information. It's co-sponsored by Saws. And, we still got some tickets left. So if you come up here and ask a gardening question, we'll give you a pair of tickets. So 210-308-8867. All righty. So what else is going on, gentlemen? What else we need to tell people about now that we're kind of in the heat? You have any advice for people? What will people start seeing?
Well, we've been talking about the migration of the monarchs being over. And
unless it's at your house.
And every time you say that, you see one.
Yeah, we see one.
That's right. Or 2. I saw 2 yesterday. They look good. They look like they were hatched. And they hadn't had a long track or a challenging track, so they're on the way north now, too. And one of the things that you can do to help the monarchs through one of the main targets is to get milkweed planted in our gardens, in our backyards, and on the right-of-ways or wherever we can, because that's the only thing they'll lay their eggs on. But the other thing is the nectar sources, so that the migrating monarchs can have plenty of nutrients and nectar, and we got a long list of plants that work. Trace mentioned lantana and porterweed and mistflower, zinnias, pentas.
The kufia, that we know the hummingbirds like them.
Oh, yeah, the kufia they like. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, and we got shrimp,
the shrimp plant.
Shrimp plant.
You got my favorite shrimp plant.
Yeah. So, lots and lots of choices. And we talked about the new, the article next Saturday is going to be talking about the subtropical plants that bloom in the hot weather, including the Esperanza, Poinciana, and Theralis, Firebush. And almost all of them, in fact, are nectar source pollinator attractive plants. And some of them are, most of our butterflies, including the monarchs, only lay their eggs on a few plants, and some of those include those plants we've talked about.
Okay, so that's one thing to do, is get those in the ground. The other
Trace brought up the passion vine. That's the one. The Gulf Fritillary is another attractive butterfly that we see all summer. And if you got passion vine, passion flower, that's where they will lay their eggs. And then the queen butterflies, they like the milkweed, just like the monarchs. So they'll fill that gap, that monarch gap. And of course the giant swallowtails. If you got citrus, you can expect to see giant swallowtails.
Okay.
Laying their eggs on the citrus, and that's the caterpillars that look like bird poop.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
what else?
What's my favorite caterpillar with the dill and the fennel and
Black
the root?
swallowtail.
Oh,
Black
okay.
swallowtail, yes.
Yeah, boy, they love that dill.
Yeah.
Woof.
Oh, yeah, and they can eat it all.
Yeah.
You can eat it all literally overnight.
Anything, Trace, you can think of activity-wise other than coming into Millburgers and planting lots of color, summer color and stuff, but anything they're going to notice with grass? Or
Can I ask Trace a question about the Millburgers is one of the few nurseries that's ever provided, has sold some of the butterfly garden, the certified butterfly garden, some of those low-growing herbs and plants, like the little yellow flower.
Horse herb?
Horse herb. I'd have to check see if I've got that. Frog fruit. I
Yeah, I was gonna
know
say.
I have that.
You got both of those, or you just?
I know I have frog fruit. I'd have to check on the horse herb.
So,
But
yes.
if anybody wants some horse herb, they can come to my house, mow my yard, take the clippings with them, and they'll have horse herb.
Well, they might have to fight the deer because the deer like that horse herb.
I don't have deer. The only deer I have
Oh.
is the one I have to say yes on.
I'll certainly provide you some if you'd like them.
No, I've always appreciated the fact that you had frog fruit, and that is little used, but certainly should be ground cover. It's fabulous. Butterflies love it. That's how it's
Which
made.
one? The frog fruit?
Frog fruit.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I had somebody buy 10 flats of horse herb. They were gonna,
Oh, my goodness.
They were going to change their whole yard into horse herb.
Really, it's a little hard to manage.
Oh, I forgot James. We got to talk to James. I'm sorry. Thank you, Al. James is on the line with a rain report and some questions. What's going on, James? I'm so sorry, man.
Thought I was going to miss my birthday there coming up in August.
When's your birthday?
No, August.
Oh,
So I wasn't.
You could have. I hear some chirping behind you.
Yeah, that's Al had mentioned. My bird feeder, I usually fill it in the evenings, but I didn't yesterday evening for whatever reason. Oh, I was wrestling with some feral cats, got sidetracked. And anyhow, so they're mad at me today. So I'll probably feed them a little early today. But anyway, I found something that worked for me. It may not work for everybody to get the rain because when I reported last week, I got a whopping 3/100ths of an inch. So Thursday, day before yesterday, I watered my bald cypress real deeply, crepe myrtle real deeply, my Choctaw pecan real deeply, left all 4 windows open in my truck. And then what happened overnight? I got an inch of rain.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, technically and more accurately, it was 0.985, just right under an inch, but I'll call it an inch. So my question is, when you do something like that, you water heavily, and then you get an inch of rain on top. I mean, is an inch of rain? Say I didn't water any of that, and everything was overdue for a good soaking, like everything is. If I would not have watered supplemental water, is an inch of rain good enough for the rest? Because I didn't get to everything, or should I go ahead and water everything else that I didn't get to yet?
If it's got enough surface, it's good enough. That inch is a good amount. Where it may not be enough is if you, it's like those containers, where you've got the access to the top blocked by tomato leaves or.
Right. Yeah, I had to water my tomatoes yesterday because they were wilted in containers. Yeah. I do have another question. I know y'all said the probability of having a good crop on pomegranate may not be well, but my pomegranate trees got roughly around 10 fruit on them, most of them golf ball size, some smaller, but most of them that size. And one at the top is like almost tennis ball size already. But what I noticed a while ago when I was on the commercial break, I went over there to count them. Roughly count them. There's some at the lower end almost hanging to the ground because it's pulling the branches down, the fruit is. It's like something's pecking on it, 2 or 3 of them. I don't know if that's a bird or if that's an insect, or if it is an insect. I guess my question is, all of the fruit in general, should I be spraying the fruit with something, a preventative for insects, or are they not really prone to insects?
Well, I've never found them prone to insects.
The only thing I'd be worrying about is, as I mentioned earlier, stink bugs. Will get in there. But yeah, that's something. Now, pecking could be the grackles. And there are mockingbirds.
Mockingbirds.
So, to be what? Oh, mockingbird. Oh, yeah, I have plenty of mockingbirds and a few grackles, but yeah, I have mockingbirds. So you think birds
like
eating the fruit? Yeah.
Blue jays too will be there.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
But it might, it might be worthwhile if it was insects for a spray, because those fruits are so wonderful. Might be worth it, especially on your relatively smaller plants, to experiment with, see if the spray like a what did we talk?
We talked about a carbaryl or our favorite, you and I's favorite, malathion.
Malathion, yeah. If that would if the insects are the threat there and making the damage, it might be worth it just to experiment, see if you can keep them off for another month or 2 months with a spray.
Okay. The only thing I have for a spray on an insecticide, if you will, is that organic, I don't know if it's a not neem oil. I don't know what it is. But I use it on no, I don't have the bottle right. But I spray my tomato fruit on there as a preventative, especially for stink bugs.
If it's stink bugs, that one isn't going to face them.
Yeah, I know.
They're tough, man.
The only thing I have, and it's been on the shelf for a while because I bought it, quite a bit of it. It's not liquid. It is the dust on the 7 Dust, the original 7 Dust. Would that help to dust the fruit with that?
It would, because it'll get on their legs.
So it would.
As long as you got it, it may be worth it. Yeah, it's worthwhile to experiment for sure.
It will. Okay, I can do that. The tree's only probably about, at the tallest point, 8 feet tall. I can get on a step ladder and dust the fruit. It's just I have to find the time when it's not windy. I don't want to be breathing that stuff.
The most organic control for you is a wet dry vac.
Yeah, that's what Trey says.
Just walk
I've got one of those.
Suck them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any stink bugs on them, but I'm not out there, monitoring it.
I think that's probably birds.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll probably just dust it maybe late in the evening or sometime early in the morning when the wind's down.
Yeah, well, if I'm the chief taster of the stink bug attack, so if you want to bring in any of those pomegranates, I'll go ahead and taste it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a wonderful fig.
Yeah.
A nice big fig from somebody.
I was wondering if you ate that. No,
Trey did eat that.
You did.
I don't know if did they even offer it to you, or you just started eating it?
He asked if he could have it.
Oh, okay. And then he started eating.
He was polite about it. He asked if he could have it.
You want me to try it?
Okay. Did you have a question?
I do. Since you brought up fig, real quick, I put my fig in the ground late winter, and it's doing great. It looks great. It doesn't have any fruit. This year it had fruit when it was in the container past 2 years. When should it be fruiting? I know the lady brought you out some brown turkeys, I think, earlier, and so she
had
got an older. I think she has an older plant, a mature tree. So when will this Celeste bear this year? It hasn't done nothing yet except for foliage.
Figs produce twice a year, depending on how you cut it back makes a difference in which wave is the best. So the first wave is on old wood, so that's probably what she had, and then the second wave is on new growth.
That's what I have. For the most part, yeah.
So if you cut yours back really heavy, you're going to get a very poor first round, but you'll get a decent second. If you don't, then you get a very good first round and not so great of a second.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
I was going to say, Trace, what months are we looking at, approximately?
Well, this would be the first wave. It would be right about now.
Okay.
So I did not cut this one back. I just took it from the container, planted it in the ground, and it's got less new growth on it. I mean, it's really doing well. So you're saying since I did not cut it back, do not expect a late...
that means you are more likely to... so if you got a lot of new growth, that's the key.
Right.
A lot of new growth, you'll have a decent second wave.
When would that be? I don't know, Celeste, approximately?
I would say a couple months, but that's just a guess.
Yeah, that was where I was going. So.
Okay, so like August or midsummer, late summer, something like that?
Right.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I know what to look for then. Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you. Hey, we need to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867. Guess what, Bert? 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Bert, you've been very patient. Thanks for waiting through the break. We go to Chalmette Bert. Bert, where you at?
I was just doing my research. I was doing a brunch when I heard y'all come on, and you was talking about tea roses. And I said, well, I remember when I living on the North Shore of Louisiana, I used to hike along the creek beds and picking rose hips. They were a little delicate wild rose. But I also remember from New Orleans, the high society people, the old ladies clubs had their tea rose societies. Now, they a very little delicate rose that they use the rose hips only for, or do they use the leaves for their teas?
No, the rose hips are on certain varieties. Which one that you like, Calvin? The Carefree Beauty? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Calvin. I had to turn you down because you were
talking to that. Maybe it was also the wild McCartney rose that the hips were on. But the hybrid teas, yes, they are long. They're generally long stem with a very defined, delicate little bud or flower on the end of them. So, and very fragrant.
All right, that's
Calvin's looking at me again. He goes, "Some of them are fragrant."
Well, roses can be very a sticky subject for some people. I love them all. It's just like I said, I learned about picking rose hips just from my grandfather when we went hunting. He was like, "Yep, you can eat them," and we take them, and it's a good source of vitamin C. So and then Seven Dust, I heard some talking about. I remember when I was a child using Seven Dust, and we put. Even in it was like you said, Mark, for chewing insects. Mostly it was tomatoes, and then like we grew cabbage and cauliflower and such like that. But I remember using the applicator that reminded a hand pump, but it had two different applicators on it. It had one that was a straight nozzle that just shot straight out, and one that reminded me of what I was on a shop vac that when you suck up the water, that spread out and it faced upward, and you sprayed it underneath, you pumped it, and it blew the dust on the underside of the leaves. Because I don't remember ever seeing Seven Dust stick to the fruit of a plant.
Thoughts, guys?
Well, no, you're right. I was thinking you're going to describe that underleaf spray as kind of like a puff of spray. Yeah, a puff to mist, or not even a mist, a puff. I'm just going to go with that.
That you had to be careful. I always wore a bandana with that one, because if you pushed it too hard, and I just thought, being a child, I was close to leaf level on most of the plants. I was like, I didn't want to breathe that stuff in. That's for certain. But that's like the munchers. Yeah, the munchers. I mean, they get it anyway because they usually munch on the leaves, and on the bottom side of the leaf, they don't blow off, and it generally doesn't rain off too much. Well, in Louisiana it did, because we had monsoon rains all the time. So, but then you were saying also sweet potatoes, and I'm looking at two of them right here now that I got at the H-E-B. I don't store mine in the refrigerator. I got a little hanging basket, and I keep them in. And the regular one, has got like 6-inch sprouts on it right now, and about 15 of them. And then I got, like you said, one of those little specialty ones. H-E-B had them also. It's a purple one. And those ones are just taking their time growing. They're only about a quarter to a half-inch tall.
Well, that's a good point, Bert. I didn't remind everybody that if you want those sprouts to come up, it's best just to leave them. Now, don't put them in the refrigerator. They will. Some will sprout even in the refrigerator, but it works best if you got them outside in the.
I leave them in the dark. It's not totally dark, but it's in an area where all my rooms seem to come together. It's like in the apartment foyer. It's like where when I'm walking through it, the bedrooms to one way, the bathrooms to one way, the kitchens to the other way. And it's generally dark. There's no overhead light. But that's why I keep them in the hanging basket so they're aired out and they don't rot and such like that.
Good point.
So,
All right.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
and one last thing about pomegranates. Here we go.
Okay.
The guy was talking, I don't care how much stained up I get and everything like that. But there's a common variety in Arizona. It's self-fruiting. It's called Parfianca. I haven't looked them all up, but the other one that loves the desert, it's originally from Turkmenistan, and it's called Desert Nia, Desertnyi. And the other one is wonderful, and it loves a hot climate, self-fruiting. I didn't see if the Desert Nia is a self-fruiting yet, but I'll check on into it because I'm thinking it'd probably be more better in the northwest or southwest San Antonio area where it's more not so moist or what. After all these rains, can't say that for sure. And we did get a lot of rain down here at Terry Wurzbach and Austin
good.
Highway.
Very cool. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Thank you, man. Thanks, Bert.
All right. Y'all take care. Have a good Remembrance Day. That's what it was originally called.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So,
All right. Got a
All right,
question
bye now.
from the crowd, but he's passed on the note to Mark because he can't speak right now.
So Patrick is asking. He says that St. Augustine and church water may not be compatible.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
I didn't think so, but says need a full drought tolerant full sun grass sod. And I'm like, well, Bermuda would be my choice.
It depends on the maintenance you want to do and your depth of soil. So
Yeah.
if you don't,
Do you have depth of
so
soil?
shallow is going to
Okay,
be
shallow.
Bermuda, but it will not tolerate shade at all. So if there's any trees involved, it won't grow there.
Okay.
Well, San
it's not
Augustine or zoysia will grow in full sun too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like rolling my. So St. Augustine, if in full sun, won't be a problem with church grass.
If you
However,
have water.
if you have water, that's the thing on that. But my choice: full sun, sod, Bermuda grass.
So to me, it's about soil depth.
It's about soil
It
depth.
doesn't have much soil, so Bermuda's the answer.
Yeah.
If you had a lot of soil, then zoysia would be the answer.
Then a zoysia would be.
And if it was somewhere in the middle, then I'd say Provista St. Augustine.
And we had a gentleman call in, was it last week? With this,
Wait, hang on.
Patrick.
Here you go. Give Patrick a pair of tickets to the Festival of Flowers. He came on the air, so that's okay. Cool.
So yeah, we had last week. We had a gentleman call up just raving about Provista and thanking us profusely.
Yeah, that's right.
That we had recommended that, and so great things about Provista.
Mm-hmm.
If he was worried about watering, then Provista still would have been my choice on that. And he liked St. Augustine.
Well, that answers all that. But this guy had shallow soil, so I still think your first answer was probably the best.
Yeah. Well, let's just go into that further. What is your selections?
There you go.
Of sod right now.
All right. So in Bermuda, there is no limitation on Tiff Tough Bermuda. There is pallets in a day. Now that's not one person. That's 5 people ordering one pallet kind of thing. So if you need a lot of it, it might have to be broken up into increments. Wait a
minute. Go back on that. Did you say there's no limit on Tiff Tough? Right. Okay.
But they can only harvest us 4 to 6 pallets of 419 in a day. Now that doesn't. If one person orders 4 pallets, that means one other person could order 2. So it's not 6 for one person. It's
just
total for the day. In zoysias, we can do palisades with no limitations. We can do emerald and zeon with limitations. In St. Augustine's, of course, Raleigh St. Augustine, the most commonly used, not the best in any one circumstance. Then we can do palmetto. We can do FJ Select, limited Floritam, and Provista.
All right.
So what's kind of the best practices if you're interested in getting grass right now for Milberger's?
Prep everything first, regrade, make sure you've got loose soil or bring in soil or both. But be 100% prepared the second you get the grass home that you need to lay it.
Okay.
Then you get it, you lay it like a brick pattern, offset seams. You get it really wet. In fact, it'd be nice if somebody was watering already the pieces that you laid down.
Right behind it, so halfway.
Okay. And then you rent the roller and press it down into the ground to get the air pockets out.
That's the most important part.
Okay.
And that's the one everybody skips. We think dancing on it's good enough.
And where do you get rollers? You're going to get them in like big box? Or
no, it's going to be the rental places. So
okay.
A to Z, I think, would have them. But any of those little places you see that rent equipment, they're going to have a roller.
Okay. And that's the guide to success. But in terms of what you have, so I want to come to Milberger. Should I call ahead first? Should I put it on order? What should I do?
Well, almost everything that we talked about is special orders.
Okay.
We're not. Grass has a worse expiration than milk.
Okay.
We don't just bring it in and hope we're going to sell it. So realistically, the answer is I need 48 hours notice for the. The more notice, the better. But 48-hour notice for those specialty grasses, weather permitting. Sometimes we have extra Raleigh, and that's bringing a truck out of Bay City. We got to bring them 18 at a time. So we pre-sell as much as we can.
Yeah.
And we fill the gap in the truck with Raleigh. And that's what we have to sell for full pallets on that day or for pieces. Although we have tried something new and we've stuck a few different things up front. We occasionally are bringing in palmetto to sell by the piece and a few other ones.
Okay.
Depending on what our grass wish list is. Then we have a wish list for grass.
Okay, so tell us about the grass wish list.
If we end up with one of the oddball varieties of grass, we have a list that we go to, and we start at the top, and we work our way down. We call everybody, say, hey, it's here, first come, first serve, and you come and get it or you don't.
Okay, and tell us how the wish list for plants works, because I used it back to get the porterweed, and it worked great.
Well, so we take your information, and Naeli spends, I'd say probably a couple hours every day looking, scanning the plants, seeing what's coming in, and she tries to call everybody. I think this week her biggest one to do was, I think we got in Belinda's, no, it wasn't Belinda's, it was Peggy Martin.
Oh.
We'd been out of it for a week.
The Katrina.
So he sat down and called everybody.
Okay, so that's what I did. I gave them my name and told them what I was looking for, and when the porterweed came in, they gave me a call, and actually I scurried over here the next day because they said it's not out yet, but you might want to come the next day. So that was cool. Yep, so it's real easy. If you're interested in something in particular, you can call 210-497-3760. Did you want to ask it on the air real quick? That's okay, Calvin. You just help her out there. We're almost out of time anyway. So, yeah, let's see. What else, Trace? Tell us about the tax-free weekend.
All right, so all the plants are tax-exempt, and anything that conserves water is tax-exempt.
Okay.
A hose?
No.
Oh.
A soaker hose.
Soaker hose, yes.
Yes. Mulch?
Yes.
Compost?
Yeah.
Fertilizer?
No.
Yeah, okay. Fertilizer, insecticide.
Gloves? No.
No. Gloves, no. Yeah.
But yeah, and then you can kind of get an idea specifically when you go to milbergernursery.com or just come in and ask. But the plants, if I want to buy zinnias, yep.
Okay. Every plant, period.
Okay. So it's just a good weekend. It's all through Monday, right?
It's through Monday.
All right. Oh, and somebody asked if you guys were going to be open on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
right. Normal time.
And make it part of your day here at the nursery at 1604 and Bulverde Road. And, great stuff. Okay. Let's see. Tomorrow you're going to talk about kind of if our new thing's going to come in, maybe?
I might have a clue whether there's going to be some new things.
Okay. All right. Mark, anything too? You talk about dropping your thing real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, the video I just did?
The video.
My Go Gardening video with the Gardening Volunteers South Texas. We did a really excellent video yesterday at Haven for Hope in their little pollinator garden. We'll enjoy that. But that will drop in a couple of weeks on first Friday of the month.
Not next Friday, but Friday a week.
Yeah.
And speaking of pollinators, what is that butterfly on the yellow lantana? Do you know? That's pretty.
Brown and yellow?
Swallowtail.
Okay. We'll find out more. And then when we come back tomorrow, I will tell you how I followed Calvin's advice and it worked. This is exciting. That's a tease.
I can tell.
Okay. Back tomorrow. Thanks to Trace for coming and visiting with us and helping us out. Thanks to Al back at the station doing a great job. I'm Milton Glueck. See you tomorrow back here at Milberger's. Come see us on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.